Hello family, Bitmap Goat Gaming, I'm Goat, and welcome to my channel, and I hope you enjoy this video. The gameplay, Just Cause 4, which is, I think, one of the perfect games. I could have showcased anything, and I decided to show this game because this is one of those titles that's older, but still has a lot of modern gameplay mechanics that I think a younger audience or a more modern audience would really appreciate, especially with the way you're moving with the grappling and your tethering and it's just a really fun and engaging experience, right? And the series is good. I like all the games in the series. But as I was kind of playing this game, I'm sitting here and it's nice in my studio and I'm like, I really want to talk about this important topic to me. You know what I mean? This is something that I think about a lot when I'm sitting down and playing video games. Um, I find myself playing newer games, and streaming these games over on Twitch or whatever. And these games are like beautiful and fun. I mean, I'm talking like Void Breaker and Shape of Dreams. Um, you know, all of the more modern games, the current releases. But a lot of them follow suit. Like they kind of have like I don't want to say gimmick because I feel like if I say gimmick, I'm talking shit, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to talk shit. I love those games. I stream those games. And the last thing that I'll ever be is some grumpy fucking old head that's so out of touch that doesn't know current trends and why people enjoy them and they don't engage with the community. And I've always hated those fucking guys, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I may have an opinion on gaming in the same way that I would have an opinion on music, on art, okay? Do I like modern hip hop music? Fuck no. Fuck no. But people make the mistake of just like say, oh, this is trash because I say it's trash because my opinion is the only thing that's valid. You're not going to get that on my channel. You're going to get a far more positive experience, positive feedback. Gaming is better now than it's ever been. Okay? For decades of my life, I have sat down to do this very thing, to sit down and play a video game because I love video games more than anything, more than movies, more than music. And I find so much in it. Like I take away so much from the experience, like immersive gaming, gaming that's healthy for you, gaming that improves you as a person, gaming that's great for multiplayer and making friends and stuff. Like there's so much good to take out of it that it to me, when I see something like this game is woke trash or this game is bad because it follows current trends, you know what I mean? Like look at this roguelike trying to be another game or whatever. Like I don't like that content and I don't bring it to my channel. You know, I don't even dog out some of the slop games that I personally don't play. You know what I mean? Like I would never make somebody feel bad about a game that they play. But here on Bitmap Goat Gaming, we play a lot of older games, right? I'm always streaming these older games. Everything from the classics to console era games to modern games that emulate or pay homage to older gaming. And all of this is great. But the one thing that I want to talk about that I wonder if other people are thinking about is why are, like, when we're playing a video game, are we playing it because of some gimmick? Are we playing it like, what I'm asking is, are we forgetting what gaming is And finding that games that follow traditional blueprints, right? Like the game that I'm playing right now. If this game Just Cause 4 had released now as an indie title, like let's say it was just an indie title, and it was like a team of like 3 people that made this big open world map and all this cool combat and this action game, would they be successful? How would the community receive this game? Like, would it be well received? Or would some of the feedback and some of the criticism for the game be like, well, I don't like the inventory. I don't like the fact that I don't have like an inventory. Or I hate the fact that if I die in the game, I have to restart at a checkpoint. Or I hate that I don't really see my character advancing, or I can't feel that they are getting more powerful as I play the game, right? Because modern gaming has conditioned players in the same way, and I'm going to say this carefully, okay? I'm going to really say this carefully because I don't want to give people the wrong impression of me and my channel. And I certainly don't want to give them a bad impression, okay? But in the same way that like algorithms and social media like conditions people, the same can be said of gaming. And I think that that's fair to say. I'm not saying all of it. I'm not saying that everything is kind of just following these tropes because they're cashing in on it. But let's take a step back and look at this like as adults. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real about it. We want to stay positive and we want to bring the positive vibes, but at the same time, I've played a lot of fucking trash recently, right? And so have you. If you love gaming as much as I do, you know that there are games that you fucking regret putting in your fucking library, and you know that. And they're modern games. But younger cats, when they play these games like what I'm playing right now, they might not dig it because I love sitting down to play something that is a video game solely for the sake of just being a video game. You can pick this up and play it a little bit. You can master its game mechanics. You could experiment with the game and try different things. It's a sandbox of exploration and destruction. It's an action game, and that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just an action game. And this particular genre that you're looking at of these like open world action games, um, they were very popular, and they some of them really tried to like copy a lot of the things that like Grand Theft Auto did. But there are games like Mercenaries and shit that are really fucking old school that did this exact same thing, you know? So like when I was playing this game, I thought about Crackdown. And I play Crackdown because I love Crackdown because Crackdown is a fun game. But if somebody plays Crackdown that's much younger than me, I wonder how they're going to feel about it. Are the controls not up to their standards? When did these become standards? When did we adopt the modern game philosophy? Like when did that happen? You know, because there became standards. Kind of tripping over my words. I keep my videos organic. I don't script anything. I don't write anything. That's what Bitmap Code Gaming is. It's me talking about the games that I love and sharing my hobby with you. Okay? So, if I, you know, there really is no room to fuck up, It's my opinion and that's all it is. Having said that, what are these standards and who really makes them? You know what I mean? Like I have played some games with really wonky fucking controls and said, man, I love that game. Do I wish the controls had been a little bit tighter or refined? Sure. Sure. But I don't think something like missing the mark on one standard really makes it any less enjoyable in my experience and in my opinion. I really don't. I think even graphics, I think that that we put way too much on that. You know what I mean? Like we build our gaming computers and whatever, and it's funny how I look at a lot of people in the same hobby, and they have the same GPU I do, and they really want that GPU because that's going to make their cyberpunk experience even better, right? With the ray tracing and the high definition and the textures and all that. But cyberpunk, or any game for that matter, is good because it's good. It doesn't have to have the fidelity. It doesn't need the ray tracing. It doesn't need these features. A game like Just Cause 4 has has some pretty basic graphics. I mean, for its time, it was unreal. It really was to to see this, right? They all were. We were all really taken back by how impressive these games looked. But those standards will change. Like the standards that we hold now for what makes a game great will change in time. It's just a matter of time. But what makes gaming really great, and I really put it to people this way. It's the experience that the person has that determines whether or not the game is good. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you that old school gaming is better than modern gaming, and I certainly can't say that modern gaming is better than old school gaming. I could say that we are missing some things. We're missing some of the fundamentals, right? We're missing, especially in the indie scene, games that are video games that don't follow trends, that don't try to cash in on trends and things that really you don't need in gaming. Okay, not every game has to be a roguelike. Not every game has to be an ARPG. Furthermore, if you took one of these games that has now become the quote unquote standard for gaming, such as Diablo 4, like we'll just use as an example, okay, while I play Just Cause 4, you know, that that really set the pace, right? It really did. And what do we see? We see that everything that came out afterwards that could have been its own thing really went out of its way to try and be Diablo 4. And that's solely my opinion, right? And even the games that tried to innovate on that, like Hellclock, it didn't really appeal to me as much as it would have, okay, if it were something else. And when I say that, what I mean by that is, what if you took like a lot of the the I don't know, the in-game mechanics out of Diablo 4? Like what if it was just like there was no end game? Like let's take the fucking end game out of that. You just go through the game, you complete the story, and the dungeons that are all over the map are optional. Like you can go in the dungeons, but at some point you are going to hit level cap, and it is pretty much just up to you how you want your character to play, right? There's no better build. There's no meta build. It's just you went through the game, you became powerful enough to beat the game, you did the optional quests, the optional dungeons, and the only thing you got from that was being able to continue playing the game because it's a fun game to play. Well, let me take you to some back in the day shit, okay? Because that's how they were. You know what I mean? Like if you play Torchlight and Torchlight 2, that's how those games are built. I mean, you can go on Endless Dungeon, but there's no end game standard for that. You're solely playing the game because you want to see what all the characters can do. You're playing the game because you want to not only play the other characters, but you want to use their equipment and stuff. You know what I mean? Each class has its own identity, right? So you want to experience that gameplay. If you really love the game, you're going to continue playing the game. In the case of Diablo 4, I played Diablo 4 because I enjoy the story. I play it because like I want to play the game, experience all the expansions, go to all the dungeons, you know what I mean, and level up my character. But once I hit level, what is it now, 60, right? I'm done. I'm done. You know what I mean? I don't feel the need to continue going. I don't feel compelled for the end game content. And I don't feel that that's just because like I'm an old head. I feel that that's just what I expect, you know? And hey, call me casual. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't feel that everything has to have this big fucking end game content. I don't feel that every game has to have this accessible inventory management system. I don't feel that every modern game has to have these mind-blowing, graphics. I feel that modern gaming could be just as solid without any of that, you know? And what kind of impact does that have on like those people that work hard to bring us the content that we like? You know what I mean? If they feel the pressure, like, oh well, our game is really cool and we're this small indie team, but if our title doesn't have the same controls or the same quality of life features or the same things that this other game has that set the standard, nobody's going to play our game. And I think that one of the effects it can have is they're not going to think for themselves. They're not going to work independently. They're not going to have this like really cool idea and come up with something that's original and new. There's no room for growth in regards to that, you know? And yeah, sure, I mean, the money talks, okay, but it also ensures that people are missing out on the next experience, right? And where do we find that? Well, we find that more often than not in the indie scene itself, where we'll play an indie title and it'll have some really innovative thing in it, right? It may become a sleeper hit, it may become a hidden gem, but it was that one game that featured that one thing that no other game had. It didn't copy something. It tried to be its own thing. And we see it in development, you know what I mean? We look at our like wish list and whatever, and we're like, oh man, Spine looks pretty cool, but is Spine gonna be like a cyberpunk Batman game? Because that's what it fucking looks like. Right? I mean, that's what that game looks like. It looks like what they're making is like a cyberpunk Batman game. Or are they actually working on something that's innovative and new? Does that team really feel that they can innovate? Or do they feel the pressure of following these standards and following these modern gaming tropes? You know? So I think that these things that we take for granted, you know what I mean? Like we have them and we shouldn't take them for granted. We should enjoy what we have, but we should also remember that the history of gaming is rooted in the experience, right? It's rooted in the community that sat down and engaged with this and was like talking about, oh, have you played Just Cause 4? It's actually really good. I don't know why people are talking shit on this game. It's really fucking good. It's a lot of fun, you know? And for those of, and then they could say, oh, well, that's nostalgia. We've moved on from that. I don't buy a word of that. That has nothing to do with nostalgia. The thing that's missing, that people are itching for, that people want, is that engagement. They want that experience that's not solely immersive in how it details the world or narrates the story, but it's immersive because it has something about it, whether or not it be a gameplay mechanic or the art direction or the sound design or something that really brings you into that experience and engages you with it. You know, so where is the priority? Where is the priority? Bitmap Goat Gaming, I'm Goat. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope it made you think about, modern gaming and old school gaming and how they you know, and how they have come to pass. You know what I mean? What does it mean for modern gaming? You know, what are these standards and why are these standards? I'd like to hear your opinions below. And I hope that you not only comment and share your opinions, but that you like, favorite, and subscribe for more videos from Bitmap Goat Gaming. You can find me over Twitch streaming all the time. Bitmap Goat. Thank you so much for watching my video.